What are the Dex's Midnight Runners, and that was Gino as chosen by Nicky, who is sat right in front of me now. We're both looking very wintry. You've got your scarf and your coat still on, and I've got my jumper as well because it's chilly outside.
I know, straight from the depths of South London. I've come from rehearsals. So.
Okay, this is for the big show, which is on Saturday, which was quite an undertaking.
It is, and it's slightly overwhelming us, but it's a challenge we're just about getting up to.
Yeah, what are the anxieties at the moment? What are the big things that are troubling you?
Remembering 38 songs. Also, the fact we're on 7:30, it really puts you out of kilter. If anyone who's bought
too early?
Yeah, it's like being in Japan when you get on it. You get put on at 6:20 or something. It doesn't feel right, but if anyone's coming along, they might miss. Revol or Love Sweet Exile if they know they're on time.
You don't want to risk that at all,
no.
do you? So leave really, really early. Take a packed lunch and all that kind of stuff.
Indeed.
How long will the show be?
Well, we timed it today. The first set is hour 22, then is an interval, and then the second set is about hour 18.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. How are you feeling? Physically fighting fit and ready to do this? Is your back hurting?
No, that's okay. I feel all right. I've been swimming every morning and it's all right. We're all hanging in there.
Wow, it's going to be one hell of a party at the end of all that.
Yeah, it will be because it's the last, is the last gig we're going to do for a while. And apart from the Millennium Stadium, I don't think we've ever done a bigger gig. Obviously festivals and stuff, but...
And which bit of it are you looking forward to most, or are you not looking forward to any of it at the moment? Is there going to be a certain section that you'll go, oh, this is great?
I think once we get on there, once all the footage, because it's such a visual show, put so much effort into all the screens and all that. Once all that's working, I'm just looking to do something really odd and rubbish like Revol, It just sounds... We haven't played that for maybe 15 years, so...
And how did it feel today?
Just as shit and rubbish as ever. But no... In a good way.
But you've got to do it, yeah.
It's just good. It just makes you feel young and empowered.
Yeah, it reminds you of your whole journey, really.
It does, yeah. And, there's a lot of stuff like that. Love Sweet Exile sounded amazing. And I never thought James would have his speed back in his fingers to play that solo.
Wow. And how are the rest of the band?
They're good. Yeah. I don't know where they are.
Oh, really? Oh, isn't James playing tonight? I think he's got a gig
doing
somewhere,
the XFM
isn't he? Yeah.
Winter Wonderland thing. Yes, he's doing a couple of acoustics.
Yeah.
And Sean's probably,
Oh, in a hotel bar, probably slumped against the bar, just like, pour me another drink.
He's probably mainlining into the Matrix somewhere.
Now, I thought maybe you coming in tonight and then James doing this other gig, it was like a distraction, like you're trying to keep busy and distract yourselves from the show.
It's a good theory.
Yeah. We played Dex's and Gino, and you chose that. Why did you choose that?
Well, you just don't hear it very often. And along with sort of going underground, it was just those classic, amazing era of singles with kind of powerful messages and just sounded amazing. We used to do a cover of that. We did a cover of it in the Brahms and Liszt pub in Newport many years ago, without a brass section. Just the three of us, that was actually before Richey joined. And just remember them on top of the pops, just looking so disciplined and odd, really. They just look... I think Kevin Rowland is just really one of the great lost mavericks of this country.
Really out of sorts, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think he's apparently making a bit of a comeback, so I look forward to that.
Yeah, always a great character. I
should say, yeah. Anyone who saw him at Reading on his comeback.
Oh, yeah. What happened with that? Was he in a dress, a white dress? Was that the image?
Yes, he was.
Okay, we like a man in a dress,
Good on
don't
him.
we? Right, we're going to choose another track now, and we'll go for the horrors, shall we? First of all, why have you chosen this?
Well, they are the band of the year, and I've loved them right from the start.
Why?
They look brilliant. They got silly names. Well, they used to have silly names at the start. I love the name, the artwork, Faris's little drawings, the lyrics. Reese, the bass player, is just... He's a bass playing icon. The greatest haircut in rock and roll. He looks like Stevie...
He does so.
It's like Stevie Marriott on stage or something. I think he looks amazing. And they just seem to hit upon such a formula, have reinvented themselves without changing sort of ethos of a band. And it's just a rare thing these days.
Would this be one of your albums of the year?
Yeah.
Or your actual album of the year?
Yes. I'd say it's pretty close there. And Kurt Weill album I really loved. And the Ryan Adams album I really loved as well.
Okay, we'll play Horrors now, and this is Still Life.
Lovely.
The Horrors, and that was Still Life, choice of Nicky, who is sat right in front of me now. So the book here it's beautiful, isn't it? It's such it's a work of art, but it's also a real labour of love.
It is, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I'm very proud of it. There's not many things like you kind of think you get right in your life, but it just feels, when I look at it, just feels like it should have a work of art, but also something really kind of human and tactile. Which just does feel a bit like a family album, which was,
it's called Death of a Polaroid, a Manics family album. How involved were the others in the band? Was it
not
solely
really
your project?
Yeah, I mean, I ran it by all of them. Or I ran it by them when I'd finished it, but they were quite happy for me. I don't think they want to look through 10,000 Polaroids, really.
But there's so many memories. I mean, it just documents the whole time of your being together and kind of being a family.
Yeah, and it's just so warm and touching, and just reminds you, especially when it was to the four of us, just that last gang in town mentality.
Yeah.
It was just great feeling when we were recording the Holy Bible in this crappy little studio in Cardiff, and you just think you're there.
Yeah,
against everything.
Yeah.
And and just landscapes and travelling to all the cities. Or Mitch Akita, who has travelled with us for the last nearly 20 years, and he's an amazing photographer, and all is of Milan and Sydney and America and deepest kind of Eastern Europe, amazing.
Yeah, no, great photographs in there. It's lovely, it's beautiful. I bet they were very happy though. It's like somebody putting an album together for you. You're like, oh, cheers, thank you. I don't have to do sticking in the photographs or anything like that. So
they didn't have to go through all the boredom. And being on Faber and Faber's a massive thrill for me because all my growing up, me and Richey used to read, T.S. Eliot and Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes and all that. And to be on, I had a rummage round in the Faber archives, looking at Philip Larkin's letters and stuff. It was pretty amazing.
Do you read a lot to your children? We were just talking 4 and 9. Your children are. So
yes.
I imagine you try and kind of introduce them to great works of literature.
Animal Farm in particular, because I always think it's the best children's fable there is. I'm not sure if they quite get the kind of communist.
No, probably not yet. But I'm sure they will when you've explained it to them eventually.
But yeah, I don't.
So you've read Animal Farm to them?
Yeah, to my daughter.
To your daughter? Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
She enjoyed it. It's really sad. I mean, everyone cries with Animal Farm.
And what else? What other recommendations?
Well, just the usual.
I'm just intrigued to know what kind of things that you love.
No,
what books
I'm not pushing the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx on them yet or anything. It's just general stuff apart from that. But there's a lot of books around in my house.
Yeah. What's Christmas like at your house?
It's as normal can be, really.
Got decorations up already?
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife is brilliant at all that.
Is she? Did you do anything at all?
I did. Kind of helped a bit.
Didn't do anything, did you? No, not really. And did your children decorate the tree? Because I was saying...
Yes, we all did together.
You did it together. Okay,
just before I came up, actually. And then the heating broke down. So it's typical Christmas.
Yeah, as you were leaving. Right, we'll play another track. And you've chosen Public Image Limited. Why this?
Well, I think, Johnny, to have a career with the Sex Pistols, for me, the greatest band of all time, and then to actually come back with Pill, this amazingly inventive kind of art rock, kraut rock, I think people don't quite gauge what an amazing... If you listen to God Save the Queen and then you listen to Public Image, it's just such an amazing transformation. And then this is like the second wave of Pill, I think, Rise. And I just remember on top of the Pops, that startling video and just that coda at the end, anger is an energy.
Let's play it.
It's true.
Public Image Limited, and that was Rise. Tremendous record, just a tremendous record.
Amazing. It always fills me with a bit of optimism and power that you can actually, it does give you a certain kind of energy, that record.
Yeah. What do you think of John Lydon and the way his career has gone and his life?
You would never have guessed it, but I still he's one of the people I really admire. You just look into his eyes and whatever he does, he just means it.
Yeah. Have you met him? Is he someone that you've got to know?
Very fleetingly, But, I just think he's really underrated as a lyricist, just because he's such a personality. He doesn't get the credit for some of the most amazing words, and you just see him on stage and he just can't stop himself. He's still got that anger and spite, and he would scare me to have him in this room here right now. I'd be quite alarmed. I really wouldn't want. Yeah, but I think he's lovely as well.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he absolutely is. Would you ever, if there was an invitation for any of the Manics to go on a celebrity show, who'd be the one that go in which thing?
I'd like to see Sean go on there.
Yeah, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah,
do you think
mysterious Sean. He'd love that, eating bugs and all that. He'd obviously win. If I went on, then I just wouldn't eat anything at all. I wouldn't do any chore. I just, I'd cause chaos. But I could see Sean doing it.
What would James go on out of all these shows? Maybe.
Oh, celebrity chef, wouldn't he?
Oh, really? Does he cook?
Oh,
yes. Is he really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's a fine cook.
Very good.
He is.
Okay.
His fish cakes, especially, apparently.
Really? No, I've never sampled those at all. So you wouldn't do Strictly Come Dancing or Dancing on Ice or anything like that? You on Dancing on Ice? Come on, I'd pay to see that.
I did ask to do that conductor thing.
Oh yeah, that Alex James did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously they got turned down by one cool bass player and got another one.
They went for the next best. Who were the bands that you were seeing when you were all getting together, the whole band, the four of you? Do you remember collectively going to see somebody?
Yeah, I mean, James
away?
and Sean and Richey especially. It was Echo and Bunnyman, Spear of Destiny, Susie.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, they loved Susie. Gary Newman. I was very much a mummy's boy. I didn't go to many gigs.
Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't. I went to see Sonic Youth, and it was a bit noisy for me. I did love it. I loved Thurston Moore. I thought he looked just fantastic on stage. Best gig I saw was Birdland, which not many people might remember.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, the bleach blonde mop tops.
Yeah, the bowleheads, and they were just really it was in Maesteg Town Hall, and there was only about 300 people there, and they still smashed up all their gear.
Yeah.
And we met them afterwards, said hello. Wedding present I saw, they were really good.
God, I wonder where Birdland are now, what they're doing now.
Yeah, well, they're due for a reformation, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. Probably be on MasterChef, Celebrity MasterChef, alongside James at some point in the future. Or possibly not. So what about the music that you were buying then? If you weren't going to see gigs, who were were you into pop music then when you were from an early
I was always
age?
into music, always into my mum and dad's, whether it's Demis Roussos or, ABBA or Crystal Gale.
Did you used to watch Top of the Pops?
Yes.
Avidly?
Yeah. Glenn Campbell, absolutely loved. Crystal Gale. We were all obsessed. I think that's why the pop sensibilities always remained with us, because we just grew up loving music. And then I had a real metal phase of Black Sabbath and Whitesnake. And then Morrissey really changed my life. I think it did for a lot. I think Ian McCulloch changed James, Sean and Richie's life. And Morrissey definitely changed mine.
Because of his words and because they spoke to you and the poetry?
Yeah, and the awkwardness. And at the time I was captain of the school football. I played cricket. I'm still a bit of an odd. My nickname was Shirley because I looked like a girl, but I was lucky enough I was good at sport. But as soon as Morrissey came along, I kind of packed that in. And, if you've got some daffodils coming out of your shorts in a dressing room, it doesn't go down too well. But them on Top of the Pops was just phenomenal. And Morrissey, like John Lydon, is just someone who's I've never kind of faltered admiring, really, even through the darkest of times.
And when you did Top of the Pops yourself, what was your greatest Top of the Pops moment? Do you remember playing alongside anybody ridiculous or fantastic?
Yeah, I mean, the first time with You Love Us was amazing. I had a brilliant leopard skin top on, I had Blade Runner makeup, and I did the old Mick Ronson, went down on my knees and started eating James's guitar, rather close to you-know-what. And Faster, obviously, was phenomenal, because it had the most complaints ever on the BBC. And then plenty of times just take that hanging around Robbie Williams cadging a fag in the dressing room, and just watching the cast of EastEnders walk by. Top of the Pops was amazing when it was, everyone together. And it just became so dispersed in the end. You never knew where you were, but for a time we must have done it about 20 times.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, we're running out of time now, so we asked you to choose a Christmas song for us, and tell us why you chose this one.
Mariah Carey, because I think I love old Christmas songs, and I could have obviously picked your Slades and your Wizards, because they have a melancholia to them, really. I think a sadness, and I think Mariah's is the only kind of modern-ish that still sounds quite old. A bit like the Phil Spector Christmas album. I think The Darkness maybe is the last decent attempt.
You liked that one?
I thought it was a proper go.
Decent attempt at it, yeah.
Yeah, compared to... it just doesn't exist anymore because of X Factor and stuff, which is sad because it's a fine British tradition.
Yeah. All right, we'll play this, and good luck. I hope the gig is wonderful and fantastic, and you cherish every single second that you're on there, and you're adored and celebrated as you should be.
Thanks, Joe.
Nicky, thank you.